This is 9.4, Measures of Variation. A measure of variation is a measure that describes the distribution of the data set. So it shows how far spread out the numbers are. The range is the difference of the highest value and the least value. So you take the highest minus lowest, and that is the range. This is a simple measure of variation. So we're going to find the range of this data set. So the highest number I have is 52, and the lowest number I have is 11. So 52 minus 11 is 41. That is the highest minus the smallest equals the range. For this data set, the highest number is 11, and the lowest is 6, so the range is 5. We also have something called a quartile, and that divides the data set into 4 equal parts. Remember that the median divides the set into 2 halves. So here, you can see I found the median by counting one value in, and the median would be the middle of 28 and 30, which is 29. Then I have a lower half of values and a upper half of values. The median of the lower half is called the first quartile, and here that is 22. The median of the upper half is called the third quartile. That is 32. Then we have something called the interquartile range, and that is the difference of the third and first quartiles. So you do third quartile minus first quartile, and that equals the interquartile range. That shows what the middle half of the data is. It is another measure of variation. So to find the IQR of this data set, I would do 32 minus 22, which is 10. So the middle half of my data set varies only by 10. Alright, this dot plot shows the top speeds of 12 sports cars. Find and interpret the IQR. First I find the median, and I did that by crossing off in pink one dot until I had 45 and 50 as my only 2 left. So to find the middle of that, you add them together, divide by 2, and that is 247 and a half. So I marked that on my plot. Next I find the middle of the lower half, and that is 235, and the middle of the upper half is 255. So the IQR, take quarter 3 minus quarter 1, and that equals 20. So the middle half of the speeds vary by no more than 20 miles per hour. So we can also use the interquartile range to check for outliers. So we have a data set here, quarter 1, quarter 3, and the IQR. Then anything lower than quarter 1 minus 1.5 times IQR is an outlier. Anything higher than the third quartile plus 1.5 times IQR is also an outlier. So if you refer back to the last section, and we had an example about a grape eating contest. So it showed that these were the numbers of grapes eaten by the contestants. We already know that 2 is an outlier, but are there any more? So I'm going to write them in order. Find the median, quarter 1 and quarter 3, median here, and then I have my lower half and my upper half. So the IQR is 8. To find the outlier boundaries, what are these numbers? That would be quarter 1 minus 1.5 times IQR. So that's 26 minus 1.5 times 8. 1.5 times 8 is 12, and 26 minus 12 is 14. So any number lower than 14 is an outlier. 2 fits that. For the upper boundary, we have 34 plus 1.5 times 8, Again, 1.5 times 8 is 12. So 34 plus 12 is 46. Do I have any numbers that are higher than 46? I do not. So 2 is the only outlier.